Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bloom and Wander. I have been thinking over the past few weeks, wondering what it was that brought me to where I am at this point in my life. Like what small decisions brought me here to the place where I am now. Because ultimately, that's what it is. It's a series of small decisions that bring you to a much larger place. And I thought, what was it? How did I get here, basically? So, life doesn't always turn out like you expect. There are financial setbacks, there are relationship setbacks, there are career transitions that you didn't see coming, layoffs, and that kind of thing. So, I wanted to talk a little bit today about what are the little moments of life that don't turn out like you expect, and how do you pivot from that, and how do you learn from that? So, it's a series really of smaller decisions that lead you to big places. Little habits don't seem important at first, but when you look back, you can see the cumulative effect of those little decisions. Um, it's little things that I think keep me going and have set me on a better path than what I could have ended up on. I've been through um, a lot of things in life that aren't exactly positive moments. I've been through divorce, I've lost a child, I've lost parents, lost jobs. I think we all remember what happened in 2008, the big economic letdown. Um, went through that, went through layoff, went through, relationship problems, and well, and health issues too. But, through all of those things, I've learned that I have to take care of myself and I have to take care of those around me. So I've built a series of habits, 25 habits that I do every day that keep me going, that keep me focused and keep me healthy. I wanted to share those with you today. My first habit is that I walk every day. Obviously, weather permitting, living in the Midwest, you never know what you're going to step outside into. This summer's certainly been rainier and crazier than what I can ever remember. But I have to walk, whether it's indoors or outdoors. If I get an hour in, I feel like I've really accomplished something. Helps keep my blood pressure under control. It helps clear my mind. I sleep much better at night. I just have to get that walking in. I'm not trying to become an athlete or anything, even though I do take part in virtual races every now and then. But I'm doing it for me, and for my health. My second habit is that I read every day. I read fiction, I read nonfiction, I read poetry, read magazines, newspapers. They actually still make those. I read whatever I can get my hands on, really, just to try and still my mind and give me something to focus on other than myself. I've found that reading a little bit of fiction right before you go to bed, um, that works better than Ambien or um, any sleep drug you can think of. My third habit is that I try and budget before I spend. It's not a matter of can I afford it at this moment. It's that can I afford it in the long term. $20 here may not seem like much, but it's $20 that I'm not putting in my savings or putting towards my bigger goals. So it can be a bigger thing. Every dollar has to have a purpose, as they say. Not punishment, but it's you have to be strict. Excuse me while I get my water. My next habit is that I ask one question before I buy anything. I ask it to myself. I say, will the future me be glad that I bought this? A lot of times we don't stop and think before we purchase, especially when we live in a world where we can just click on something and automatically it comes to our house in like 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever. But will my future self be okay with that decision? because the future self is the person who has to live with it. It's not you in the present moment. It stops a lot of impulse buys. If you just put it in your cart, wait a day, wait 2 days, you might find that, yeah, I really don't need it. I own fewer things. Um, in fact, I've spent the last 3 or 4 hours now getting rid of some stuff because I do accumulate things just like anybody else. Even though I own less than what I did a year ago, I'm always getting rid of stuff because I'm always taking on stuff, whether somebody gives it to me or, I decide that maybe I don't really need this thing, or I'm just done with it and ready to push it forward for somebody else. Owning less feels like having more freedom. It's just, especially when you move a lot. I have moved quite a bit in my life, and you really don't want stuff when you're the one who has to pack it up and move it. Keeping a gratitude journal. I keep it as part of my regular daily diary that I've kept since I was 10 years old. I try and find at least one thing to be grateful for every day, even when those times in life you feel like everything's fallen to shit. You just don't want to be happy about anything. There's nothing in your life worth living for. You can find one thing. It can be hard sometimes, but there's always one thing to be grateful for. Learning one new thing every week. As I get older, I feel like it's almost like I'm learning a new thing every day because there's something new thrown at me every day. Learning never stops, even if you're not in school. Learning is like a lifelong process. And if you decide that you're done with it and you're not going to do it anymore, well, then you just might as well curl up and die, because learning doesn't stop. You have to keep learning. You have to keep your mind fresh. For no other reason that they say that things like Alzheimer's and dementia are held off the more you're learning stuff, keeping your mind active, keeping those synapses synapsing, as they say. Spending time outside, that goes along with the walking with me, but I really love bird watching. I've gotten into that a lot more as I've gotten older, and I can start to identify uh, birds just by their sound. It's crazy. I never thought I'd be someone who could say that, but they are very identifiable, especially if you know the birds that are in your region. Get yourself an app, or the bird watching guides are good, just so you can have like a still picture of it. You don't have to try and get them with your camera or anything. But yeah, learn to identify the sounds. Pretty cool. Limit negative news. It's hard to find positive news nowadays. If you could limit your intake of any news, that's great. But obviously, you have to be informed and blah, blah, blah. But be very selective about where you get your news from. And that's not like a political statement. That just means examine the intention of who's giving you the information. Usually, somebody's trying to sell you something, and it's better off if you just, pick out the bits that you need to know and then toss out the rest. Progress over perfection is habit number 10. That applies a lot in my life, especially, like I said, trying to get rid of the clutter beast that tends to take over. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Or also, as I've gained weight, as I've gotten older, I start to, eat better and work out and try and shed those pounds, and I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. But progress over perfection. Am I getting healthier? Do my pants fit better? Yes, they do. Um, can I walk into the corner area of my bedroom without tripping over stuff? Yes. Well, then that's progress. That leads me to habit number 11. Declutter a little every week. even if it's just a desk drawer or the console of your car or a purse or a bag if you carry one. One thing every week. It adds up. It makes a big difference, and that's less cleaning that you have to do later. Cook meals at home. I do go out and celebrate. I had a birthday 2 weeks ago, and I went out for that. But the majority of my meals are cooked at home. I do get meals as part of my work, so I'm lucky there. Excuse me while I take another drink of water. But anymore, the cost of what you're paying in the restaurant versus what you're actually getting, it doesn't really add up. I mean, there's some things that, yeah, it's expensive, more expensive to buy it and cook it at home, but that's very, very rare. And for me anymore, I appreciate the act of cooking and, having everything just like I want it. So I'm more excited to just buy the ingredients and make it at home anyway, even like the more complicated gourmet stuff. I'll take a whack at it. I'll watch a YouTube video that teaches me how to do it. It's a lot more fun that way. Habit number 13, practice saying no. I tend to be a people pleaser and I say yes a lot. I'm breaking myself of that. I'm setting my boundaries. I'm learning to say no, especially when people make me uncomfortable. I think there's like a power dynamic that takes place where they intend to make you uncomfortable. So that kind of almost bullies you into saying yes into things. I'm getting to the point where I'm more comfortable just saying no and not giving an explanation. No, I'm not. I'm not interested, but thank you. Habit number 14, call someone you love. We don't make phone calls as much as we used to anymore. Um, and I'm someone who I hate the phone. I like texting. I like thinking about what I'm going to say before I say it. So I write it down. It's like, oh no, that sounds wrong. But sometimes you just got to pick up the phone and hear somebody's voice. Call somebody you love, whether it's your parents if you still have them, grandparents if you still have them, your kids, um, loved ones, people you went to high school with. All those relationships, they need to be maintained and they need effort. I don't think that we show as much effort as we should. Even just picking up the phone for like a 10-minute phone call. It's nice. Show somebody that you care about them. Habit number 15, stop comparing your timeline to somebody else's. You're not going to do things at the same rate someone else is. So just be yourself. Be okay with being an individual. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. Habit number 16, celebrate small wins, but now don't go overboard. So don't, lose your 10 pounds and then go out to eat with an entire cake. Don't go crazy. But, when something good happens in life, don't be afraid of celebrating it. I think that we've gotten away from responsible celebration and we've embraced irresponsibility quite a bit. Buy yourself some flowers. Take yourself out on a picnic. Go get an ice cream cone. Celebrate. Excuse me. My allergies are kicking in. Habit number 17, put the phone down. Let yourself have quiet moments. Let yourself just sit in silence. It doesn't have to be meditation, but you don't have to pick up your phone every time you get a spare moment. I didn't grow up with a cell phone. Most of people my age did not. I remember hearing about them in the car when I was like maybe in junior high, and that was like for rich people. But we certainly didn't have them at our disposal, every time we turned around. But let yourself be bored. Just even for 5 minutes when you're waiting at the doctor's office or whatever. Just put the phone down. Just enjoy your thoughts, enjoy the silence. Habit number 18, learning a practical skill. Learn to make a gourmet meal. Learn to replace a zipper on a pair of pants instead of buying a new pair of pants. Learn to garden. Learn to fix your toilet. Learning those little skills can save you a lot of time and money and can make you feel pretty good about yourself. Number 19, build your emergency savings first. They say pay yourself first when you get your paycheck, and that's a good habit to get into, even if it's just a small amount. You can set it up to where it's automatic. You don't even think about it. Put it into a high yield savings account. You won't even see it. You won't miss it. Pay yourself first. Build that emergency savings. It'll be there. So like when you do blow a tire or you need to take your cat to the vet, you've got the money on hand and you don't panic. Habit number 20, create before you consume. Spend an hour making something. Write. Make a birthday card by hand. Paint something. Bake a batch of cookies rather than buying them at the store. Create. Habit number 21, forgive yourself. You've made mistakes. I've made mistakes. It's okay. We need to learn to forgive ourselves. We've become kind of an unforgiving world, and we really quick to tear people down when they mess up or they make a mistake. And personally, I don't like the idea of my kid growing up in that world. Now that they're an adult, it doesn't really matter, but I don't like the idea of living in that world. I don't want to see anybody's kids grow up in that kind of a world. Forgive, make mistakes. It's okay. Apologize for them. Habit number 22, have a dream bigger than just retirement. And by that, I mean have a dream bigger than just not working. One day, we're going to reach the finish line, but it doesn't mean that we have to stop. Not working isn't the goal. The goal is freedom. So, freedom with your time, freedom with your money, not having to be responsible for anybody else's time but yours. Travel, learning, whatever it means to you, that's the goal. Habit number 23, spending less to impress people. So don't buy a new car just to impress your neighbor. Don't try and impress people with the clothes that you have or your electronics or the vacations you're taking. Live to impress yourself, your future self, especially. Remember that starting over is allowed. And that's kind of the focus of what I've been saying in a lot of these last few videos. It's okay to start over. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to become a new person. It's okay to change your mind. We're only here for a short time, so why waste your time being unhappy, right? Choose hope every single day. So that doesn't mean pretending that life is easy or that you're happy when you're not. It just means look forward to the next day. Look forward to what's coming. Building a life that you're happy to be living. Building a life that you can be proud of, that shows your values in everything you do. That's what's important. That's what it means to me. That's what I'm trying to do. So this is just a list of stuff that's important to me and some thoughts that I've been having. I'd like to hear your thoughts. What are some habits that you've started to make that have improved your life? What kind of changes are you trying to make in your life that you think that will help you be the person that you want to be? Thank you for joining me today. And again, this has been Bloom and Wander, and I look forward to talking to you later. Bye.